Firstly, I've got to apologize for the lateness of the videos. I got very sick last week and only recovering from it now. And plus I'm back to work, so I've had very little time to do other things. So anyway, game 4, day 2, and I'm up against Ogres. Traditionally, in tournaments, I haven't done too well against them in the previous 2 games. I've lost both games, despite having a weaker army. I think it's because of the fear factor. Psychology test isn't exactly my best friend. Anyway, he had 2 units of 2 lead belchers, 2 units of 3 man-eaters, also 2 units of 3 bulls, 2 units of 20 nobblers, which he just stuck on the corner just to claim table quarters, 10 trappers, 5 iron guts, 2 butchers, the slaughter master as his general, and the hero level ogre. Can't remember its name, but he had the tenderizer weapon. Anyway, you can see he's moved his trappers on the hill and he immediately placed his man-eaters behind them so my artillery couldn't see. I think it's one of those dodgy rules in Warhammer where even smaller bases of skirmishers can block line of sight to bigger sized bases, such as man-eaters in this example. Maybe something they need to address in 8th edition. Who knows? Tried to shoot the trappers with the Doom Diver, but it scattered pretty wildly. My plan with the Savage Orc Ball Boys was to move them up quickly and hopefully, along with the Giant, take out the left flank as soon as possible. Unfortunately, the Savage Orc Ball Boys skobbled in turns 1 and 2 and just refused to budge. And they were charged by the unit of 3 bulls instead. I was going to charge the Giant into the trappers, but had a feeling he would flee and then just counter-charge with the man-eaters and Ogre Hero, so I just decided to stand pat and hopefully he would fail his terror test. Also charged the Wolfrider unit onto the trappers who chose to stand and shoot. Needed 6s to hit, I believe, and he rolled a massive 11 hits. And then 4 plus to wound, and he managed to roll like 8 or 9 wounds. And couldn't save any out of those wounds, so that was the Wolfriders gone. I must say, he was on fire with the dice rolling at the start of the game. I mean, with 2 dice, he was rolling like 10 or 11 for the spells he was trying to cast. So it wasn't looking too good. So the 3 bulls charged into the Night Goblin unit and triggered that 1 fanatic, which caused only 1 wound. In combat, the nets successfully entangled him, and it was a big difference. He killed only 3 goblins because of that, so I managed to win the combat res, but he passed his break test with ease. The 3 bulls managed to do quite a bit of damage on the Savage Orc War Boys. Broke them and ran them down, captured the standard, so there goes my plan of taking out the left flank. During his turn, the Nobblers failed their terror test and ran off. It was something I was expecting. And they never came back, he couldn't rally them in the end. He's moved his Ogre Hero with the Tenderizer into the Man-Eater unit and just parked them in front of the Giant. So on my turn, in I go with the Giant, hoping to do whatever I could against the man-eaters. In the background you can see that the Night Goblins broke the 3 Ogre Bulls in combat, which was helped by a flank charge by the Squig Herd. Tried to restrain pursuit with the Squig Herd, but I failed miserably, rolled like 12 for leadership, something high, and rolled for the pursuit and rolled a massive 11 inches, and they were right in front of these man-eaters and lead belchers. And then when I decided to pursue with the Night Goblins, I rolled Snake Eye, so one extreme to the other. Yeah, so getting back into the combat with the Giant, he decided to headbutt the Ogre Hero, avoiding some nasty attacks with the Tenderizer, but caught 4 wounds from the Man-Eaters. In the end, the Giant managed to stick around in the fight due to his stubbornness. On his turn, you can see his man-eaters and lead belchers charging into the Squig Herd. Once again, his insane dice rolling just managed to wipe them out in close combat, and it didn't even give me a chance to Squig Bomb. Now he's also charged the 5 Iron Gut Death Star unit with his characters into my Sacrificial Orc unit. Challenged with my boss trying to minimize the damage he would do to the unit, he's happily accepted with his Ogre Champion and smashed the Orc into bits. Did manage to break the Orc unit. I fled just short of the table and he failed to cut him down. And back into the combat with the Giant. He did eventually die from the Man-Eaters, fell over, but just short of the BSB. So on my turn, I've charged the War Boss onto the flank of the Man-Eater unit. Tried to charge the BSB and his unit of Orc Boys too, but failed their fear test. During the combat phase, I was lucky to kill the Ogre hero with the War Boss, but the Man-Eater unit stayed in the fight due to their stubbornness too. Then on his turn, he charged the Iron Gut Death Star unit into the Orc Boys again, who managed to rally, broke them, and then pursued off the table. On the right flank, he's charged the Man-Eaters into the Night Goblins. Then in combat, the Night Goblins entangled themselves in the nets. Didn't really matter because he tore up that unit anyway in combat and then broke them and then successfully ran them down. The War Boss killed one Man-Eater, but there was one left with one wound remaining, and I just could not kill it. It would have helped if I had the BSB in there, but regardless of that, he passed his break test with ease once again. Then on my turn, got the BSB's unit to charge again, which they passed their fear test, moved in, but the War Boss managed to kill off that last Man-Eater anyway. Now this was the decisive moment of the game where I think I stuffed up the most. I had the option of moving the War Boss close enough to the Nobblers, make them do a terror test. I think their leadership is 5 or 6 or something like that. So hopefully I would have fled them off the table. And then on my last turn, and then charged the Bull unit, which is just out of the picture, but they were hiding in the left corner with the standard of the Savage Orc War Boys, and that would have brought back a lot of points. Or I could have gone in with the all-in attitude and just charged the Iron Gut Death Star unit with the War Boss, hoping to break them, even though the odds weren't in my favour, and get even more points back. So I faced the War Boss and the BSB's unit towards the Iron Gut Death Star. On his last turn, he's moved his lone Lead Belcher, which I couldn't kill with the Speed Chuckers for the life of me. He's moved him into a position where an overrun would move the BSB's unit away from the Iron Guts. It was a cheeky move, but wise nonetheless. So I went in with the War Boss. He's challenged with his Slaughter Master. I must say I fluffed the rolls big time. 6 attacks with the War Boss wounded him 3 times, while the Wyvern did nothing. He didn't cause any wounds on me, but he had a standard, outnumber in ranks, which was all even at the moment, but he had a musician. So I lost by 1, but managed to pass my break test. In the end, I did lose this game 15-5. I think if I could do it all over again, I would have picked out option number 1, which was to try and make the Noblars flee and charge into the Bull unit with the standard. I still would have lost, but the final score might have been brought back to 13-7 or maybe even 12-8. So game 4 out of the way, halfway through, just hope I don't come up against another fear-causing army.